Here we are. It is Friday, July 24th. We are almost into August. Next Friday, this time. No, we'll still be in July. It'll be the last day of July. But anyway, basically August. Time is really moving. Or as my man Steve Miller would say, it's really slipping into the future. Anyway, it is noon-ish Eastern time here. You know what we do here. Small business breakdown. And we almost have a full house for the first time in I can't even remember because I'm kind of getting old. So anyway, I'll own my oldness. But I have to do this show with other people. And so as we normally do, we start out west. We go to our guy we call Leland from Oregon. There's a reason we call him that because he's from Oregon. Anyway, hey Leland.
Hey Brent, good.
It looks different. It looks different.
I'm in the middle of all sorts of moving. I'm at my mother-in-law's house. The sale went south. The house that we were looking into filled with mold in the attic, and so we're like, we're backing out.
Wow.
And so now the house hunt begins, and so you'll probably see this a couple more times.
I'm really.
I wish that StreamYard had like a hide my background feature that every other streaming, meeting system has.
Don't get me started on things that I wish StreamYard would do. But anyway, I digress. First of all, very sorry to hear that things fell through, but it's better to find out that there's mold in their houses than before you buy it than after. So at least you found out beforehand.
Yep, definitely.
All right, let's keep it moving because I doubt there's a lot of mold in Gary, Indiana. At least I hope there isn't. But let's check in with our guy who goes by one name and one name only, Pierre.
Good morning. Good morning, Leland. I'm sorry that the house did not work out, but glad that you caught that, like Brent said, before the deal was done. So kudos to you at least for that.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you get to stay with your mother-in-law. That's another positive. Yes. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Going a little further to the east of Gary, Indiana, would be Magical Mystical Medina. We all know who's there. It's the Madam of Mike Drop herself, Evena Taylor. Hey, Evena.
Hi, everyone.
That's it. Hi, everyone.
What can I say? It is a beautiful summer day. I'm definitely going to explore Mystical Magical Medina.
Wait a minute. How many years have you been there?
Too many, like 26, 27, I guess. Wow. 27. But I'm telling you, this is where small businesses thrive. This weekend, we are having like a South of the Square concert series. So like, it's going to be like a giant block party. All the little small businesses are in on it. There's going to be bands. There's going to be food. It's just going to be so much fun. But tonight, my sweetie and I, or this afternoon, we're gonna hit the local boutique. What is that called when they do custom cocktails, like a speakeasy place?
A speakeasy. Mm-hmm. In Magical Mystical Medina, a speakeasy. Okay.
Speakeasy. We've got all the things.
Oh, and by the way, you also have all the anniversaries. So happy anniversary.
Thank you. 33 years in business.
In business? Is that how you put it, in business?
This is how we started. Do people not understand that marriage is indeed a legal partnership contract? You are getting into a contract. These are the downsides of being older when you get married.
So when your husband asked you to marry him, did he say, will you legally, contractually agree to be a part of my life for the rest of it?
He did not say that in those exact words. However, before all of these things happen, we call it Taylor Inc. And we run like a corporation, but we do not have like staff meetings or like reviews or anything like that.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, 33 years deserves a happy anniversary.
Thank you.
All right, let's keep it moving. I'm going to go a little different. I usually, go from east to and then come back. Actually, I think Atlanta is technically east of. Yeah, so this is actually the right way to do it. It's hard to say the right way to do it and then bring on John Lawson, but here we go. Hey, it's the cold one. It's the bold one. It is John Colder Ice Lime Lawson. Hey, how you doing?
It's not lime, dude.
It looks kind of limeish.
No,
like a leisure suit.
Turquoise,
kind of
exactly.
Turquoise.
We match. We on the bottom, we match.
Yes, we do.
You know who has a shirt like that? You remember that show Three's Company, Mr. Furley? You look like a black Mr. Furley, man. How about that?
Dude, you're really asking for me to let loose on you. So you tread lightly.
Hey man, wearing a shirt like that, you know you're gonna get some blowback. I'm just saying.
Most people enjoy the color.
Okay. I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. It just reminded me
of I mean, you know, your eyes are bad, so I get it.
All right, let's just move on. The big guy can't take it. That's okay. We're used to it. Anyway, for the first time in like, I don't know, the 90s? Maybe not that long. Maybe just a couple of months. We are going to some place I completely forgot what it's the capital of at this point. I know it's in New Jersey. It's something to do with a vacation, I believe. But we are glad to have the one and only, thank God for that, Ramon Ray is back with us. Hey, Ramon.
I'm not sure whether Brent was complimenting me or not. The one and only, thank God for that, Ramon Ray. What's up, Brent? What's up?
Hey, good to see you.
Pierre and Ivana and John. It's good to be back. I was away doing some volunteer work with my church and was away keynoting and slaying at Black Tech Week with Damala, the CEO of Red Lobster. Got some more travel coming up. So I'm good to be here and good to get at it with Small Biz Breakdown. And thanks for having me back. And John, by the way, I don't know if anybody told you, your turquoise shirt looks amazing. It's just like
Mr. Furley's.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Furley was a good dresser in the 70s. I don't know why people think that's some kind of a slang. I'm saying.
I tried, John. I tried.
All right, let's get into it. It's a Friday. It's another week. And I feel like it's April of 2025. Why do I say April of 2025? That was when Liberation Day was announced. When the resident, as I like to call him, started talking about like all tariffs he was going to put on companies and countries and every country. And it seemed like the economy didn't really like that a whole lot. Inflation started going up. People were just freaking out. And then he backed off on it for the most part. And we were like, oh, good. We're done with this. We have gone through. We passed this stuff. Then we got into a war. And then the war was over. And now the war is back and might be worse than ever. We got a new Fed chair in. And one of the reasons why he wanted the resident, that is, wanted the old Fed chair out, my buddy Joey Powell, because he wouldn't lower interest rates because he was trying to keep the economy on, good standing. So we got a new guy in. And according to Ivana's reporting, the new guy might not be doing the thing that the resident wants him to do, because he's thinking about actually doing what he should do. We're thinking he's going to start getting some heat too. So it's about a year, a little less than a year and a half since Liberation Day. And it feels to me that ain't a damn thing changed. All right, how's your week? Who wants to go? Look, Ramon, you haven't done this in a while. Why don't you go ahead and go first?
I appreciate the thrust of the conversation about President Donald J. Trump. I appreciate that. And the economy, Brent, is absolutely important. Absolutely important. For sure. It impacts all of us. Having said that, focus on the lens of just small business owners. From my small vantage point, despite the ups and downs, it seems like things are going on okay. I went through Western Pennsylvania just a few weeks ago. Things were going on, meandering along. All the people were doing what they did in the Walmarts and the little shops and things. Went through Black Tech Week with 8,000 chocolate people and 1 or 2 vanilla people sprinkled in there. people were there. People bought tickets. My man Lamar Tyler just had his conference just a few weeks ago with what cost a couple $100 a ticket to be there. So my point being, yes, notwithstanding of what President Donald J. Trump, who's residing in the White House, the People's House, Brent, just trying to help you there.
He's the resident. Yeah.
No, notwithstanding the Strait of Hormuz and Iran and all these global things which are important. Small businesses here. We're here. And I'm back. So that's my take. Who's next?
He's like LL Cool J. I'm back. Why don't we go with Ivana, because Ivana, I don't know, based on what you were putting in our little group chat there, you don't seem to. I don't think you see it the same way. But what say you?
No. That's it's not that I don't see it the same way. And I think if Shashi were here, he would be talking about the K-shaped economy, but now they're like talking about an E-shaped economy. So I've just been doing a lot of reading around just what's going on in the greater economy. However, as always, small business owners, entrepreneurs, eternally enthusiastic and optimistic, committed to getting things done, right? They are committed and they're not stopping. So I don't think that what I'm talking about is in contrast with what Ramon is talking about. I am seeing, guys, I have, kind of have stepped away for quite a while. So it's going to take me a while to sort of get back into it. But the small business owners that I'm interacting with, some of them have lost clients. Others of them, of course, being a girl and all, we're doing hair, we're doing nails, things like that. And those are the last vestiges of stuff women will let go of. They are not letting go. We are not stopping. See, I have new hair. This cost me. This cost me a lot of money. And all of that to say is, but they are expanding those. They're lengthening those. So like if you got your nails done every 2 weeks, you might be going 3, you might be going 4, you might, you're trading down. So those are the kinds of things that I'm seeing. I'm not seeing stopping. I am seeing lengthening of like buying cycles. I'm seeing lots and lots of credit, lots of buy now, pay later. These are all things that concern me a tremendous amount. I'm still seeing too many trial and error. I call that slot machine marketing. I see too much of that going on. I don't like to see that. That wastes time and money. So that's my take. I'm going to bounce it over to my one named friend, Pierre.
I like how that's taken off now. You're just Pierre now forever.
Yeah. No offense to the peers who may be watching this, but I am representing the peer as well. I agree that I think for business owners, there's always going to be the enthusiasm. That's a required aspect that you have to have regardless of what's going on in the economy. Having said that, I think that business owners will always be a little cautious about things that are changing. Fuel prices are kind of creeping back up a little bit. We touched upon $100 a barrel oil, which that part catches people's attention because we know that oil impacts just about everybody and every little part of it. It just may vary from the person who may be riding their pickup truck to do deliveries, or who have a fleet of trucks and may have to worry about the price of oil. But other folks may not be impacted as much. But I think right now the best way to describe everything is sort of this: stay on plan, keep your eye on the things that are changing, and just try not to lose your head or lose your hair. So I'll say that.
I think 4 of us have lost that battle. Well, Ramon, I think you shaved yours on your
That's right. I have a full head of hair. I can grow a full afro, longer than even as if I wish, but I shave my head.
Oh, we would. Is there anything we could do to encourage you to do that? I would love to just see it, just for like.
I do have a wig that I wear on occasion.
I'm from Gary. You have to have a fro the size of the Jacksons officially.
Bro, if you're cutting it, you don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. Well, speaking of I don't know what to say. Just go to John Law's house. Well, go ahead, man.
So small business conditions, man, I think are not great. I don't even think they're good. I think they're cautiously moving along, you know? And then if you feel the vibe, we were kind of feeling, a week ago that, okay, maybe we have this baseline where things are going to possibly get better. And suddenly they're getting worse all of a sudden, all over again. And that, the problem with it is the leading indicators kind of don't get to Main Street at the same rate. So, let's check in a month from now, and like you said, gas on the way to 100. Well, I mean, it's probably going to get to 150 if things don't open up soon. And it still takes a while for that to go into the actual economy, because that's crude oil, and crude has to be turned into gasoline. So, these are all leading indicators of what could actually be a fourth quarter blow up. I don't know, but that keeps me kind of cautious to see how things bear out. And I think we're seeing that with a lot of small businesses. So we'll see what the expectations are as we move forward in the next 60, 90 days.
That's the most you've said. Wait a minute. That's the most you've said on this. Usually it's like pulling teeth. You're usually like, that was actually a well-formed opening paragraph for a show like this. It must be the shirt.
Don't try to get on my good
stuff.
It
must be the shirt. It's the shirt.
All right. Gives him confidence.
It's his whoopee, the turquoise shirt. All right, Leland.
So, I mean, for the most part this week, I've had my head down and into other areas. I haven't really had my mind on anything else, really. But the good thing about that is, when you're in it, you're seeing every little thing. But when you're out of it, only, like the cream rises, the most important things happen. And it's like, I'm not seeing a lot of panic. I'm not seeing, it's like, oh yeah, we're entering back into the war. I'm not seeing like this great mass panic that I've seen in like other kind of times in which we've been, had tough times. So I'm optimistic that, hopefully, we're while yes, there's upset and unsettling, that we're, stable enough in our own lives and livelihoods that we can write it out or not even really have it affect us too terribly much. It's not like the stock market is crashing. It's not like, interest rates have doubled or anything like that. It's not like gas prices, while they are increasing. Yes, I saw 15 cents. It's not like it's $3 all of a sudden. So until I see like massive swings, I'm gonna just say, head down, do work on your business. I am optimistic. This week there was something that kind of brought the whole nation together, and it is really nice to see that everyone coming together and celebrating a deformed raccoon named Jimothy in Seattle. Everyone just loves that little bugger. And Brent is just...
I'm lost. I haven't heard it.
Because you've been working and not scrolling.
I haven't heard it either. Everyone loves it. I thought you were going with feet. You're like raccoon.
There's a raccoon in Seattle named Jimothy who has a short spine. And so it looks very, very, very creepy and weird and deformed. But everyone just loves this little guy. And so, the nation just comes together and is celebrating a deformed raccoon. It's heartwarming. It's heartwarming to see.
I really want to get in on this because when you know what? Let me stop that. The old Ramon's gone. It's okay. I will skip what I was going to say. But
now you got us. Go ahead and say what you're going to say. Come on. Don't leave us hanging.
Can you put Malika Starr up there, Brent, one more time? We just give a shout out to
Oh,
Malika
okay.
Starr.
Yeah, you do that.
Publisher, friend of mine in my community. So Malika Starr, glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Y'all look up Malika Starr Publishing. Shout out to Leslie George, who's an amazing human as well as an amazing community, is also a book publisher as well, and does more and more and more. So both of these ladies are in my community. And the other one, I'm not sure.
Look, I don't know. This could be somebody that's like related to me, but I'm not sure. I don't know a Blondie Leary, but
welcome, Blondie Leary. Glad you're here.
You know, if you might be a cousin. I don't know. Not too many Black Learys, so it could be a cousin. Anyway, Malika says, "Oh, thank you. Did I, Malika? Make me let me know if I did this right. Oh, thank you so much for the shout out. But that I want to make sure I'm authentic on how I read these things. I don't want to sound too over the top sarcastic or anything, but I like that. That's a very nice of her. Anyway." With all that you guys just said, yes or no? Are we still in the middle of or on the precipice of a meltdown on the economy front due to AI? An AI meltdown?
I think we're definitely not at the precipice of an AI meltdown, but I do think we're at the precipice of a possibility which could go positive or negative. You know what I mean? So I don't think we're at the meltdown stage, but what do you call a few levels before? If somebody wanted to argue that, I could see that. I think it's gonna be more positive, but I wouldn't argue at someone saying maybe things, but I don't think precipice is too strong of a word.
Let me ask you, if things keep going the way they are, is it heading in that direction or is it not heading in that direction?
For me, Brent, you know what scares me really is this, and I know it's happened before, it can happen, but it was publicly announced that Claude's thing went rogue. I think we're going to see this more and more. This is no longer, what is it, Leland? Hal, the Avenger of the World's one of those kind of movies you watch, the guy who blew up the world by accident or something. This is the reality now. This is true. So.
Was that a yes or a no? I just want to make sure
Yeah, it's a yes. Yeah. Okay. We're not at the precipice of danger, but I do think we're at the inflection point where something really bad or really good. We're still ironing out the legs is my point. And I think it's going to get there's going to be more mistakes happening before it evens out and gets good, kind of like driverless cars.
Okay. If we just keep on going the way we're going.
I can't.
Yes or no?
Leland, whatever Leland says.
All right. We're going to Leland and Oregon because it's duck season, apparently.
So first of all, I'm a Beavers guy. I went to Oregon State University. No ducks in this house. If it's anything to do with ducks, we go shooting them. But actual ducks, not the college students. No. So to clarify what Ramon actually kind of brought up, basically one of ChatGPT's test models got loose. It decided to hack Hugging Face, which is a platform that hosts AI models, and got itself loose and hacked Hugging Face and got itself over there.
So Hugging Face is something a lot of folks that maybe use AI at a very surface level. They don't know the importance of a company like Hugging Face, but that's not a good thing that happened.
Yeah, it is not a good thing. And so, yeah, that's that singularity. People are, it's always in the movies to where it's like all of a sudden the AI escaped and it's now on another platform and now it's replicating itself and now it's going out everywhere. And that is kind of one of those fears, but it's like, okay, I don't know if that's going to be like the AI apocalypse. I think that we're still at a point to where we could probably contain that kind of thing. I don't think that it would be kind of, the thing to where, AI apocalypse and get Skynet kind of thing. But it is a very interesting situation that happened. Now, I don't know if we're going to see the, economic downfall of the world because of the AI bubble bursting. I think that it may kind of like deflate over time, but I don't see it like all of a sudden crashing the market or anything like that.
So you say if we keep on the same trajectory as we are right now, it's not heading towards economic meltdown.
I wouldn't see an economic meltdown. I would see kind of it like, just over time, maybe like, yeah. I just don't see like everyone pulls their money at one point and decides to leave kind of situation.
That's the second person that's not answering Brent's question directly. That means I'm not a total idiot, Brent. Second person that's not answering.
Yeah, that doesn't, or it could mean you're both. I'm not saying that, but just all right. Let me go to the voice of reason.
Go ahead, John Lawson.
No, not him.
I don't think that's me.
And we'll go with even.
I am. You guys are not going to think that I'm the voice of reason, and I only wish. I'm going to first answer your question.
Thank you.
Yes, if yes means that it's going to be just a horrible, painful correction.
Okay.
This is just me looking at the things I'm looking at. Because, and I put in our chat today, and where I'm going with this, a lot of this stuff makes no sense to me. And when the .com bubble burst, I had the same feeling, and I turned out to be correct. I'm going to take a stand and say, I don't think this is going well, right? They just released that number that the Mag 7 or whatever have that $1.6 trillion that's not on one thing, but it's on this other thing, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't understand why we feel the need to build tons and tons of AI data centers. I can see why we'd want to build one or two like prototypes, because what do we know? We are all old enough people. Remember mainframes? There used to be mainframes, and then they went from the mainframe into your computer and into your phone.
Hey, Ivana, do you mind if I just, Brent, do you mind if me and Ivana just joust a little bit? Just take 30 seconds, please.
Go ahead. Let's see.
I'm just trying to understand, Ivana. It's just, how can you say you don't understand? They're doing what I'm trying to say. Mainframes, in my humble opinion, we're all just living this right now, but mainframes, now that we have hindsight, I get flop.
No, not flop. Necessary, right? Okay, fine. Think about it.
But my point is, what are you poo-hooing about data centers? AI is growing. We know it's going to grow. We know it's going to be crazy.
Because Apple is not building data centers. Qualcomm are not building data centers because they are creating chips. So in the same way, not exactly,
I see.
In the same way that we had mainframes and now we have laptops that are local to us.
I see.
We're like, imagine the data center is like a central place, and then Apple, it's not like maybe. We already know that the system is not efficient and it needs to be optimized.
You're saying data centers are too old. Data centers are old technology already, and it's going to be something new.
That they are already. So I'm not saying no data centers. I'm asking like why we need so many. Why not like optimize the thing? I'm not saying, right? In the .com boom, one of the things that happened, like why did it bust? Not because these businesses had crappy models so much. The reason it busted is we took all this money and we dumped it into putting T1 lines and fiber everywhere so we could use the internet. And that had to be done. We are only now, decades later, really taking advantage of that. And that's the bubble doesn't necessarily mean. So I'm not anti-AI. Please don't think that. I'm just saying that we are funneling all kinds of money that cannot be recovered in time. And we have seen this before, and there's going to be a correction. And then on top of that, we're not talking about the dollar and the interest rates and all the other external stuff. This is the reason I think that I am so concerned. And people, remember, I'm going through an estate plan right now, and I have to do things with money, and I am scared beyond belief that, that there's going to be a huge correction.
I got you.
Can I throw a little something in? Because unfortunately, I know I felt the pain of this. Even you were talking about the internet build out, all the the wire, the fiber, the undersea building of the pipeline. Cisco, remember Cisco and WorldCom were going at it.
Yep.
because they always want to be the ones that get there first, because usually the first mover gets all the benefits of being the first mover. So that's why you see all these companies throwing capex in the tens of billions, some of them 100 billion, because they want to get there and they want to own this. So Cisco did that. WorldCom did that. WorldCom, that guy who was the CEO of it, was a fraudster, and he got found out. Remember, we don't even. It was MCI and WorldCom. Remember that MCI? Yeah, Bernie Ebbers.
Yes.
I was in that space.
Yeah, but they were fighting with Cisco because they wanted to own the pipe. Cisco plowed way more money in it than even them. And guess what? I bought shares of stock in that because I was like, oh, Cisco's going to win this one. I think I'm just basically maybe just a little bit ahead now than when I bought it 30 years ago. So
then you're not ahead.
The moral of the story is, well, technically I'm ahead because I at least have more, than I put into it. Anyway, take the damn shirt off and get back to normal. Anyway, so what I guess I'm saying is everybody wants to rule the future. And these folks are throwing billions upon billions. Even if one company is throwing 50, that means the other company wants to go 60. All to try to own this. Way more money going in than it should be. But you can't stop these guys from throwing the money in. There's going to be a financial crash at some point, or at least a correction. But the technology is going to be very useful in the future. So there's a divergence between the financial cost and the technology capacity all itself. I think the rate that we're going, if we stay on this kind of track, there's going to be some kind of, I think, a pretty significant correction.
And you know why I think it's going to be significant, Brent? The reason I am concerned is because these indicators have been flashing flags for like over a year now. And like Warren Buffett is probably hoarding something like, last time I looked, it was $400 million in cash. It's probably more than that. These EPS ratios that are just saying the market is insanely overvalued. It's like all these flags, and yet it keeps growing. And that's a flag because every time it's done the huge crash, it was doing the growing thing. Like, and it keeps, we keep waiting for it. I thought it was going to happen by March, April. And here we are sitting in August. And it's just, I hate to say this because it's like a gross visual, but it's like a giant pimple, like a giant volcano pimple of nastiness that's gonna force us into dealing with reality at some point. And this is why I'm so concerned for small businesses.
Okay, who do you want to go to and hear from next?
I want to hear from, I'm going to go to Leland. I'm trying to jump around.
Oh, I've already done. I've
you've already done yours?
You got Pierre or John?
What?
No, we're talking about.
Yeah, this is a different thing.
No, this is. Are we on?
Oh no, maybe it's wrong. Okay, John, go John.
Yeah, I think they both kind of waffled. That's right.
They waffled. That's why. Sorry, go John.
Well, I don't know what the question was.
Oh, jeez.
Is AI going to crash? Is it going to crash out?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, at some point it will. You can't go up for what goes up must come down. I mean, this is yes. When? Who knows?
So if we just keep going the way we're going currently, you're saying that crash out, correction, does it matter? They mean the same.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of correction at some point.
It's
significant, little.
You know what? I think it will be somewhat significant.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at what just happened with the Kimmy K release, I think that is, or not a Kimmy K, Kimmy 3 release. I think this is.
There's a lot of things to look at that one.
Right. Yeah, even that couldn't keep getting bigger. But anyway, that's me laugh. But I think we're seeing that, like, even though I was just saying, you can't keep pouring this money in because we're seeing that there are people that are creating new models that don't need the big, data center type plays. So yeah, it's not going to be who puts in the most money, builds the biggest data center that's going to necessarily win.
But John, you don't think that there's enough, and again, I'm saying this no jest at all. You don't think there's enough smart people that know what you guys are saying? It doesn't. I guess on one hand, I guess the eternal optimist in me is like, there's got to be all the Jensen Yangs and the Elons and all these, the top 500 smart people. They know this, right? They're economists. They have billions. So you don't think they know this? Isn't there?
Well, you don't understand. One thing I don't think we take into account.
Okay.
We don't take into account that the game is to raise as much money as possible.
Fair enough.
So even though that there is something, we're not going to stand on the sideline and say, hey, I already know that if I raise this money, it's going to not go the way you think it is. They're going to say, we need more money.
Yeah, but I mean, why can't people? Nobody's doing this and I shouldn't say nobody. I'm talking to the big thing, what NFTs or crypto, that seems to be not in the headline and kind of down. I could be wrong. I see your face, Brent. But my point is, investors, right? Investors are smart people. They don't want to lose money. So the $1 billion investors, the guy in Japan, SoftBank, and all these people, I'm genuinely curious and surprised that they're not saying, hey, data centers, I know what y'all are saying, but echoing even and John, hey, let's invest more into chips. Let's invest more into the
Ramon. That's like saying there were no smart people back then. There were a ton of smart people. It's not just about the smarts. It's about sometimes there's greed is good. Sometimes you want to be the one that has the power, and you are willing to do whatever it takes. So even some people realize this might not be the smartest thing, but I want this. And there's a lot of people who want to rule that. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people that, are going to be impacted dramatically in a very negative way when all this stuff comes to fruition. I don't know if it's going to be as bad as 2001 or in a completely different way, the 2008 subprime mortgage led meltdown. But these things are, matter of fact, I think I even had a visual because I was like, I wonder, how does this compare what happened in 2008 with the subprime versus, what I call the CapEx, AI CapEx economy, where all these hundreds of billions of dollars are being spent. Is there some kind of similarities? And there are some, and then there are things that are very different,
I'm on the very different side, Brent. Yeah.
No, when I say very different, that doesn't mean it's not going to be a big crash. It's just factors are different because situations are different. But there are some similarities, and I'm not going to keep this up for long because it covers up all your faces.
Yeah. Hello. I can't see.
Actually, might not be that bad at all, but not really. But anyway, Pierre, we haven't heard from you yet.
I think the question is when we're going to have that collapse, and probably it may not even be. I'll take the word back, not collapse. I think adjustment. I think we're close to having adjustment now.
Adjustment.
Let me ask you: significant, small? Or give us a little more about what adjustment.
I think it's going to be a small one at right now, and here's why I suggest that. I think the people who are investing the capital into AI. I'm talking about things like IBM, things like.
Well, they're having a time right now.
Yeah, and I think what people are going to pay attention to this coming quarter is more like are companies starting to see some sort of immediate profit that they can attribute to some sort of investment they made in AI. I think anybody who's had some sort of whether it's a layoff or some sort of messaging saying, "Hey, we're going to make this investment in AI," I think the quarter coming up is when there's going to be a little bit more questioning on, you said this either late last year or early this year. Where are you going in terms of material direction? And I think that will impact not only those companies, but to even this point about the data centers, I think it may slow down a lot of this infrastructure investment, because the idea is that there was a promise of AI coming in and creating this efficiency and creating this opportunity for profitability, but there's a mixed message out there right now because we're seeing companies also rolling back some of their initiatives. So, and that was probably inevitable because I think the message with AI is so, for lack of a better word, murky. Get to AI. If you don't get first, then you'll be left behind, but you're not really specifying what it is you want to be first in and where you're going to be left behind at. So I think that part, I think everyone's drawn to that message. And I agree with the whole idea of, you try to be first, what have you. But I think that message is so there's nebulous in some ways that I think there's a lot of companies that are making huge mistakes. And I think we'll see a lot of that coming out in the quarter coming up. And I think that will give us some indicator if there's going to be real adjustment based off of that. Okay,
give us a name of a company that you think is making a big mistake right now.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Let you think about it. We'll welcome our buddy who we haven't seen in a very long time.
Amber, welcome.
Amber Donald. Good to see you. Now, you know what? Are you related to another AD, which would be Aaron Donald? I just thought I'd ask that. I just put the two and two together. Leslie is speechless, apparently. That's all she says.
Okay. Emoji there didn't come through. Leslie's good people.
You know what? One thing I would like to throw out here, we haven't really talked about this, is this a game of everybody can take some of the table stakes, or is it going to be winner takes all? And if it's winner takes all, what about all that money that the other ones have put up? And then now here we are. And I don't really get any of the spoils. I'm just curious.
That's a good question, John.
I love that question.
Wait a minute, though. You're letting Pierre off the hook still. He was going to give us it. But
actually, I want to tie to what John said a little bit. You asked me if I think a company was, I can't think of who's behind right this second, but if you asked me maybe some months ago, earlier this year, I would have said Apple. I think Apple
they're ahead now.
Is trying to focus on their hardware, focus on the chip part, because right now there's a real investment on having chips that can handle AI models and a lot of the processing
on the phone, right?
Yeah, I think this ties to what John is saying. They found a way to have table stakes without necessarily having to come up with their own AI model. It's very different from say what Google's doing, or even what and Google, which is saying something because Google's their top competitor with phones. So I think to John's point, and to answer your question, right now I can't think of someone losing necessarily, but part of that reasoning is because I think people are also finding how to have table stakes, which is what you want to do in this type of environment. If you want to be innovative, you can't be innovative following everyone being, quote unquote, Chrysler Motors following the top one or two. You want to figure out how can you adjust yourself to something else that may give you table stakes in the game and give you a different sort of advantage. That's what innovation is about.
And Pierre, let me say to that point, again, I was reading, I guess here's why I'm biased, Ivana and John, going back to the earlier discussion, again, I think y'all know more about this, and I like your thinking for data centers, but reading Satya Nadella's book, Hit Refresh Microsoft, it's just one. I'm not the fountain of wisdom. Many people think I am the fountain of wisdom, but just to be clear, I'm not the fountain of wisdom. But the point is, reading Microsoft...
No, let's be really clear.
Reading Hit Refresh, my point being, is that I guess it gives me hope. I think that when you combine, and I'm only into it now, the technical competency combined with the corporate humility is a winning thing. I'm only into it now. And I think what Soho is doing. Again, they're a smaller company, I believe it is, compared to Microsoft and others. But my point being, BlackBerry had the technology, whatever it was, but had the corporate arrogance. So reading this is what I'm trying to say. That's where I thought, aren't there at least, come on now, Brent, aren't there at least some amazing, smart people at the top who have the right corporate culture and humility, who, like in this book, Satya says, I knew I had to disrupt my own company. And I guess that's where I'm thinking. Not everybody, but I'm wondering, I got to think that in Google and Microsoft, maybe Netflix and other big companies like that.
Netflix is in a tough spot right now.
They're in a tough spot, but I think there's maybe hope. But the point is that, and Netflix is much different, but y'all get what I'm trying to say, is that if you have a right company that has the right culture, which combined with the right company that has the right technology, it just has me feeling that Microsoft and maybe others, they'll be here for the long haul, because Satya is hearing how
I'm
he
telling you, this is the world is so different. It is so different. Just think about it. A year ago, maybe 18 months ago, we felt that GPT-4, however long ago that was going to give us a 2-year advantage. And then we get Fable 5, and 6 weeks later, we get Kimmy. It's like, dude, this world is it's so crazy, man.
Principles don't change, John. The principles don't change. Leland, talk to me. Go ahead.
So that's the thing that I'm thinking about. Even his point was, why do we need data centers? Correct me if I'm wrong. Why do we need data centers when they're trying to get it onto our phones and stuff like that?
Not why at all.
Why so many?
So many.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're always going to need kind of the bigger data centers for the bigger models. You can't take Fable 5, what Fable 5 is, and put it cram it onto a cell phone.
Bro, they just did it with Kimmy. Yeah. That's the whole point.
You can't.
I'm just saying that you have limitations when it comes to technology, and if you want something more and more robust, and they're always going to be making the bigger models, the ones that can make more complex things, and you're going to need something a little bit bigger. I mean, I was looking at it was a model that NVIDIA put out, and I'm like, okay, ChatGPT, what would it take to actually run this? And they're like, you're going to need like a $10,000 server to be able to run this thing, and you need air conditioned room. You need something, really big to be able to do that.
You know that Leland is changing so fast. You know that.
Well, so yesterday, for the first time ever, we've been doing these watch parties that are around CRM and CX related companies. But last year, we decided to also do a watch party for NVIDIA because of their impact on everything AI. And this year, for the very first time, AMD. They just had their big conference yesterday. We did their watch party for that because I don't know if you've been watching. I have. I'm not trying to do like a resident thing and pump a stock that I actually own, but I do own AMD. So take that with a grain of salt. I own NVIDIA, so take that with a grain of salt.
Are you giving financial advice now, Brent?
Nope. I'm not. Don't buy, don't sell, buy. Do what the hell you want to do. I'm just telling you, before I say what I say, I do have a financial stake, as little as it is. But AMD, all of a sudden this year, their stock price has gone like tripled.
Yeah.
And it's because of data center build out and their chipsets, and because they're a CPU first company, although they still do some anyway. So I was like, we need to listen to her, Lisa Su, who's the CEO, brilliant lady, by the way. She's the niece of Jensen Huang. So both these companies have family members, and they're like at the pinnacle of everything that's going. Anyway, I digress. So we wanted to hear what she said, and some of what she said is fitting right into here. Yeah, they're building out for the big iron stuff and the AI stuff that needs to do big processing, big compute, but they're also building out their own little box that fits your house and working with mobile companies to put stuff in the phone. So a year from now, maybe data centers aren't going to be the complete focus they are today, because this local AI thing is a thing. Apple announced they might make a Mac Studio that has 1.5 terabytes of RAM in a box. I mean, that's because then you can load up full live through LLMs right on your local drive, and then you don't have to pay anybody else. You do all the local compute processing right in your room. So I think the conversation will change. I think partially because people that live in these localities now feel like they have a say in whether data centers get put in or put out. That's going to change some of these big companies, the way that they move forward, because they're not going to be able to put data centers in as easily as they were before. So now they're going to have to politic. Yeah, it's politics. And look who's the biggest one making all the deals. The resident. But he's making all the deals.
You said the who? The who?
The resident.
Oh, this is the president. Isn't that part of that? The missing
tomato.
Isn't that part of that misinformation, Brent? And didn't I see a headline that Mark Zuckerberg is running a campaign, AI is good campaign or something? Didn't I see that headline?
Maybe you did.
But I can tell you, in Indiana, they've had commercials for data centers talking about how I don't know who's the organization behind it. I gotta check into it. But there's been a commercial that's been running to explain how ideally that the infrastructure will actually lower energy costs for homeowners in the area, which is
why are you smiling sarcastically, and why is even a smile like that? What's wrong with data centers? Why are you doing this?
You want one next to your house?
Nothing wrong with data centers.
I'm not. Yeah, I
do you want one next to your house making a lot of noise, raising your heating and electricity bills?
Do we understand how utilities work? Can we be clear? We all know how utilities work, right? They're privately owned organizations, right? They're privately owned corporations, right? And we pay them to use utilities, right? Do you know what else we pay? Because they don't. We also pay in the form of taxes and fees on our individual bills for them to build out their infrastructure, because that is how utilities work in the U.S.
Yeah, but even if these are billion-dollar, high economic, high fluty-tooty things. Like
it's $1 billion when it lands in your freaking mailbox and then it comes out of your account.
I don't know. Even it's like today you started off where I liked you, then you're ending where I don't like you. I don't know who you are.
Well, you're gonna love where I'm going. You're gonna love where I'm going when we end, though. You're gonna love me so much. Just like I love you, no matter what you say.
Kevin O'Leary said the same thing, and he still took me behind the barn and shot me. So I don't know.
Who?
Kevin O'Leary shot you behind the barn?
Oh, that one of those hucksters from that show?
You're right.
Oh my God.
He doesn't see the beauty of your heart.
I just love you guys. It's so easy to tweak you guys. It's so much fun. Anyway.
It sure is.
The point I was being with the commercials.
What was your point here? Go ahead, finish your point. Why don't you? I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, the point was just it's interesting now how the pushback now that is forming is all these sort of ads to convince people about data centers, and it's coming at a time where people are pushing back a little bit about whether they want it in their communities or not. So it's just, but I thought it was interesting.
I'm saying it's good to see the ads pushing against it. I'm not from political here, but ads are for both things. I just what are you talking about, Pierre? There's ads, there's whole coalitions and billions of dollars saying down of data centers, hasta la vista, and there's
all I'm saying is I have not seen ads before. That's all I am saying.
I can't, Pierre. You also, I don't.
I'm sure that's.
But Ramon, let me ask you this. I don't. Well, maybe it's a comment and a question. I don't know. I think in 2026, the difference between data centers just going in kind of under the radar,
fair enough,
versus 2026, where people actually, like, you listen to the people that have data centers near them,
right?
They talk about the sound. They talk about the price increases. They talk about things. They talk about the water. They talk about things that they weren't thinking about before. And now that there's some experience with these things, people are like, wait, no, we don't want that. We don't want any of that. And so 2026 is like the year that they actually get to say something before stuff happens. I think data centers would not be so negative if they didn't feel like they were forced on them. If they felt like there's a way that they could have some input before they come into their neighborhoods, but that wasn't happening before.
Yeah, what I'm trying to educate Pierre and even though I'm failing to do so, is that, and I'm messing with you, Pierre, just in case you didn't know, is that, it's just, I guess I'm saying is that
Pierre's got a very serious face. You better be careful now.
My point being here is that, I guess, Brent, I hear you. It's just, I'm very careful on both sides, whatever side may be. I think there's politics and it's hard to know the truth. And all, that's all. It's just,
okay. I don't like. But here's one thing I want to say.
Okay.
Power and water are a real, actual strain that is happening to grids in certain locations. Mm-hmm. And these are genuine concerns that a lot of people didn't get a vote on.
Right.
And that's actually happening. It's not just, my side versus your side.
That's not actually. I didn't even say that.
No, I'm just saying, there is actual strains in certain areas, and it's not going to get better.
And maybe we can have this discussion for another thing, Brent, but I guess what I'm trying to say is when then, and I'm talking at a high level, I have a little bit of fun here, but I guess, John, I'm just trying to say, what about the aspect that industrialism, we all are glad it went on. I'm sure there were arguments. I know they're different of saying, I don't want my cars built here. I don't want electric grids built here. I'm guessing there were things like that. So I'm just trying to say at a high level, yay, no data centers. Where's the balance come? You got to have it somewhere, or all the stuff.
Yeah, you can't have no data.
Well, just like you have to have prisons somewhere, right? Most people don't want them in their backyard, though. That's just a fact.
I gotta say, so my mother-in-law lives just down the street from a bunch of Amazon data centers. And first of all, I don't hear noise or anything like that. And I mean, it's less than a mile away. But like right across the road from the data centers is an actual prison. So we got both of those.
You got them both.
And I think you should have more.
Okay.
so I will say, I think that with Amazon, they found like, you know, they were doing data centers before like all these other people were doing data centers cropping up. And I think that they found like in this area, like really good spots. And so like when they're building data centers, they're not building them next to like houses. It's like half a mile down, but you know, it's not like it's affecting us. We're right next to a hydroelectric dam. So that's bringing, you know, that's a lot of power and reservoirs of water to be able to fuel that without negatively impacting the area too greatly. I mean, my power bill is somewhere between $200 and $300 per month. I don't know how that equates to your guys's. Whether or not I haven't seen like a significant increase in power, but it's like we also have a lot of other power sources in this area. So it's not like, you know, they're coming into an area where there's just only like one generator and it's powering the whole town. So I think that if these data center people were to do it kind of like Amazon did and were to do it in areas that were industrial, that's where they put them. They don't put them next to the school and let the kids play in the runoff water or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you know, and it has been really great for our community. You know, and I've mentioned this once before, but the town that has the data centers went from like a budget of $7 million to like $24 million in tax revenue that's come in because of the Amazon data centers. So there are some benefits that can happen if it's done, I would imagine, properly. And I guess that's what we would really need to strive for. Yes, let's do them. They bring in jobs, they bring in money, they bring in really good aspects if they're done correctly, I think.
I really want to get to even because she's shaking her head rather vigorously.
Oh no! I'm reading Amber's comments because Amber is rocking it out.
Yeah, and I want to end on one of those comments. And it's really good to see Amber back, by the way. But she asked this question. I think I would love for each of you to take a stab at this, and then we can end. So Amber asks, "How should citizens learn this stuff? What degree teach this info?" Well, I don't know what degree, or if it has to be degreed anyway, but what degree teaches this info about IT, or is it knowledge you learn as you work within the IT industry?
So I've gone to a couple of you know, AWS stuff that's been around here. So they actually have a partnership with the college that allows a person to be able to go in, take classes, and also work for AWS at the same time, so that they come in once they're done with the coursework. They come in at like a level 2. They're making money, and it's like a 6-month course. And so within 6 months, you're data center ready. But also, it's like if you know, like me, I could go in right now and apply for a job and get into the data center because I know how to. Well, first of all, I got a computer science degree, and they would just love that. But even if I didn't, I know about computers. I know how to remove hard drives, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, that's perfect. Get in there." So,
and I'll just
yeah.
No, go ahead. I'll echo what you said, Leland. I'm not as techy as you, but yeah, the hard drives and all that. You know, I started my tech career in the early '90s. But the point is, yes, Amber, if you want a career in it, do what Leland just said. There's so many courses and things and grants, free, paid, whatever, by the companies. You can learn it. If you want to have like a career in it, Amber. I think if you don't want to have a career in it, just want to learn, Coursera, things like this 1 month course, a couple months, whatever it is you can learn, whether it's the soft tech, what do you call that, Leland? The typing on the keyboard, and or if you want to learn the infrastructure stuff, there's ways to learn that too. So thank you, Amber, for asking the question.
And I'm just going to say, ask AI.
Yeah,
it'll teach you.
But probably Amber won't, because she probably doesn't want a data center where she lives, so she'll probably have to go to the library. It's true, John. Come on now. Both sides of every story.
Pierre, you've been mad ever since Ramon cut you off.
No, I'm just listening. I might look a little tired, but that's okay. I want to add one quick thing. I would say on top of the courses, meetup.com, and while I'm not a big fan of X, I would even say X. Finding the groups where you can meet people in the IRL, so to speak, to ask specific questions is a great way of kind of tying things together. I know, like in Chicago, there are meetup groups that will meet at the what's called the Aon Center. There's a floor that's owned by Microsoft, and people come in there to talk about their experiences with data, their experiences with models. Those sort of things can also help you in the networking part as well. And there's usually all sorts of meetup groups depending upon where you are, but I would use meetup.com first. And then even with X, you might be able to find some groups who are posting there quite a bit. So that might be of some help as well.
And I guess I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to spin off of what John said and take it one step further. So one of the things that I do, I take areas that I'm interested in, which you probably guessed, I'm really interested in economics. I'm interested in how these trickle-down effects work. I'm interested in how utilities work. So not just the topic, but these other ancillary topics. So I start with AI, and I specifically use Perplexity. And then through a series of conversations, I've actually done this thing where I go onto the computer side of Perplexity and I ask it to do a report for me once a week. So I want to be prepared for this conversation. I want to be have content for my site, and I send an email with tips and things. And so I want to know what the most current research is on all of these topics. So once you've honed your what you want to learn and what you're interested in, and maybe some experts that you're interested in, these are all things that you can put into, like in my case, Perplexity. I find that they really are the best in pulling out like credible sources, academic papers, like research that's for real. So that's my tip.
My tip is, Amber, just stay away from anybody that calls themselves AI doctor or queen of AI or the king of AI. Any of those kind of people, stay the hell away from them, Amber. Run!
Unless their name is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, then embrace fully.
Good Lord. We got to end now. This has been one of the more livelier ones in a while. I think it's because Ramon is back and because of John's shirt. So thank you guys for joining us. Thanks to Amber, and let's see, Leslie and Content Care LLC. We gotta call them out too. Malika Starr, Carey, and is that it? And apparently my cousin, for joining us as well. Hopefully we'll see you. Oh, I said Leslie, I think.
Oh, did you say? Okay.
Yeah, I said Leslie. So thanks again. Maybe we'll see you next week. And maybe Pierre won't be so mad at Ramon next week.
I was not. Oh, gosh.
we'll see
stirring the pot. Stir.
Have a good weekend, everybody.